We want to get to where we're no pain, no sale, because if they're not feeling pain, they're not going to make a change. Mike's questions are, well, how do I get them to feel the pain? How do I know? I can't remember all the questions, but I'll try and unpack what you said here, Mike. Okay. One of the easiest ways that you can get to the pain is typically if you're asking the right questions. You know, what's most important to you? Or in your case, Mike, if they're coming over from one agency and you're trying to get them to yours, clearly they've thought about it, right? What's your biggest reason for, and if you don't want to step all the way out on the ledge, leaving your agency because you're afraid they're going to go, well, I'm not leaving, right? They took your call or they called you for a reason. What's your biggest reason for looking at other agencies, right? And then they're going to say, oh, you know, I always just want to make sure that I'm, you know, in the best possible position and making the most money. The trick that you need to do there for the pain is ask them for a specific example, right? Like if I was in a doctor's office and I said to the doctor, yeah, what brings you in today? My knee's a little sore, right? And then the doctor just goes into, okay, let's run some tests. When you say your knee is sore, can you give me a specific example? Yes. The drive over here today, by the way, my knee clicks when it goes up and down the stairs. Stairs, going down. I feel like somebody stabs me, okay? Now, I pride myself on being kind of a badass and I never go to the doctor. Here's what freaked me out. I'm driving, the knee not only clicks, but it starts to give me that stabbing pain. I don't feel like I have neurological function with my foot, doc, and I'm afraid I'm not even going to be able to stop this car, right? Like I am really concerned now that this problem is getting worse. All that doctor had to do was go, when you say your knee is sore, can you give me a specific example, right? Even in Derek's case with martial arts and with Strike Zone, right? He is the king. His industry is notorious for surface level answers, right? What's your biggest reason for, you know, wanting to check out martial arts? Oh, I want to get fit, right? Or I want some self-confidence, right? When you say you want some self-confidence, what's going on? Man, dude, it started with my older brother and getting teased and blah, blah, blah. And now I got a divorce and I just feel like crap about myself. And when I look in the mirror, I just feel like all of a sudden the floodgates open, right? And these are people that are like hugging Derek. Whether they sign up or not, they've made a connection with Derek. But all Derek had to do was say, when you say blank, can you give me a specific example? Now, we just talked two instances. Mike, you're essentially B2B, but there's an individual involved in there. Derek's B2C, and that there's an individual involved there. It's the same damn thing with businesses, right? When you say you guys are having trouble with password reset calls, can you give me a specific example? And by the way, all these cybersecurity people, all these password reset people, all this crap, where, oh yeah, I work for blah blah blah, and I would never consider myself a salesperson. Well, if they got focused and they got passionate, they'd be able to say things to CIOs like, when you say you're having password reset calls, can you give me a specific example? Yeah, man, we had 11,000 of those over how many people are in your organization? 32,000, right? Who's fielding these password reset calls? It's our support team. What do they get paid? How long does that call take? 10 minutes. Right? And now that I'm skillful and I'm focused on my sales, by the way, this was a real world example with a hospital group. I was sitting in, I threw this one in, I didn't even work for the company. I said, so 10 minutes for the call. Your people taking the calls are making 150. Just out of curiosity, who's calling to reset their passwords? The person on the other Zoom looked at me like I was an idiot. By the way, checkmate. Game over. Because he's like, our employees? Oh, okay. Like your nurse practitioners? Yeah, our employees. Your doctors, your surgeons, your anesthesiologist. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So this is their password into the entire, it's their password. So if an anesthesiologist is not able to log into the portal, everybody's waiting there until they can get the epidural line in. And then you have not only their payroll, but the nurse practitioner, that what does an OR room run per hour in terms of top line revenue as my voice starts to come down? And in 2 seconds, because I asked for a specific example, and then I said, tell me more, and I said, but this, and now all of a sudden we got our hands on an $874,000 a year problem. right, that only costs $45,000 to fix. This is where you want a specific example. Now, the second piece of your question, Mike, is you're like, well, what if there is no pain? This is where you have to have a net outcome statement. And this is where you're leading with the insight. The insight is positioning you. So in your case, Mike, right, a lot of agents right now, what they're finding is all of this technology, all of this stuff that was supposed to help them do more, it's just added so much noise into the marketplace. Their company is not helping them in terms of support, and agents are typically making less money right now, and they're actually doing more work with all of these great tools and AI and all of this stuff that's supposed to help them, and they're making 30 to 40% less, and they have absolutely no personal life. How are you dealing with that? Right? What have I done? I just put the frame around the thing. And if I say, man, it's a problem for me, you're going to ask for a specific example. But if I say nothing and you're like, there's no pain, I don't want you to manufacture pain. You could, but what I would rather you do, being skillful and professional, Mike, is I'd rather you just pull the little hand grenade pin on your net outcome statement, roll it in the room, shut the door, and walk away. That sounds like this. Oh man, it's not a problem for me. Work-life balance is awesome. I'm doing great. That is great to hear, right? I will be here if you're ever in a situation where you feel like you're overworked, you're underappreciated, you're not getting the support you want, and all of a sudden that career totally starts to bleed into your life and you're missing those important moments. Fair enough? And it's like, see ya. Because I know it might not be right now. I know it might, boom! That thing's gonna blow at some point. Right? Because I didn't try and force my sale on you. I got your attention. I delivered an insight. I painted the frame. You weren't biting. So I'm going to say, no problem. I'll be here when you need blank. Two things are going to happen. Number one, you didn't have to reject me because I walked away. Number two, I get to step back into that sale whenever I want. Sustainable pipeline. Hey, Mike, was thinking about you this morning, and man, there is something going on that I just wanted to make sure there's something the top agents are sharing amongst each other. I just wanted to give you a heads up on it, right? I can step back into the deal. And here's the other cool thing about the Easton process. Let's say you are great. And let's say you are totally happy. Because I wasn't pushy, because I wasn't high pressure, because I got your attention, led with an insight, put a frame around the box, you said I'm good, I'm not afflicted with that. I said that is awesome to hear. I will be here when you need blank. The outcome, which is not when you need to come to another agency. Mike, what you support is back office, work-life balance, and the ability to make more money. That's the outcome that you're providing, if I remember correctly, Mike. Okay? I'm leaving you with that. The added double secret bonus is, let's say that Jake is my homeboy from another mother, and he's also in the same business for a different company, and every time we go out to lunch, all Jake does is bitch and moan about his office. I'm going to be like, dude, you got to talk to my boy Mike. Right? It's not a fit. I love my situation at Kentwood. I ain't leaving, but I'm going to get you in touch with Mike. Right? They have back office. All of a sudden, they are able to articulate all of your talking points because you talked in terms of an insight, you talked in terms of outcomes, and you weren't pushy. Right? So that's how you deal with pain. I'm not asking you to literally stab them. I'm just asking you to ask them to give you a specific example. And if it's going nowhere, just go with your NOS, right? No problem. I'll be here when you need blank, right? And if you feel like they're lying to you, maybe put a tickler in there to call them back in a couple weeks or a month. If you feel like they're spot on and they don't have any pain, let's follow up with them in 6 months. Because Mike could be super happy at Kentwood, but all it takes is one freaking Rhonda to I'm the new managing partner here, and we're doing things Rhonda's way, and now Mike freaking hates his job, right? So this is where now you're able to go back in and tap them whenever you want. Hey, it's Matt Easton. If you like this video, you're gonna love this. I'm gonna teach you how to close right here, right now. I'm gonna cover all the costs for you. We're gonna get you the closing mini masterclass. I pick up all the costs. It's free to you. I'll cover the $299. Click the link in my bio. You're going to get access to the class. It's going to show you how to close anyone, anytime, without being pushy or manipulative. Your life is about to change. We're about to become best friends. Click the link in my bio. I'll cover the cost for you to learn how to close.